Right, let's get involved with this 1 Series. Yes, it is exactly the same, but different. One's got a roof, the other hasn't. And this one where we've got in has got a driver's side window fault. Now, if we put the ignition on, hold it on for a couple of seconds. If we press the button to wind the driver's side window down, I don't know if you can hear that, but the actual window regulator inside has failed. So right, let's get involved and make a start on getting this door panel off. Now the first thing that we want to do doing a job like this is get yourself a nice little chair, sit down so you can wheel around and pull yourself up to it, and get yourself your little trim tools now. And this little trim here, you should be able to be careful with it. You've got to be careful and be rough at the same time. It also sounds as if it's going to snap, but don't. Pull it off, just like so. Now once you remove that plastic trim, you just get yourself a little pick, and there's a little T20 hidden just by there, and there's also 2 T20s behind this plastic trim here as well. And once we remove them, we can get this door panel off. Now once all them screws are out of the way, get yourself another trim tool. And what you need to do also, again, you need to be gentle and rough at the same time. Prise it in, and also give it a good yank, and that door panel, or door trim, should just come off. Just like so. And then once we get it off, we can come around the back and disconnect the cable and the speaker wires and the switch wires. Once you've got the door panel off, you are left with the sound deadening, or whatever you want to call it. Now it is kind of tricky to get off. What a lot of people do, they just grab hold of it, rip it, and then put tape on it. But what I do, get myself a Stanley knife and go just underneath the glue, cut it so it's nice and neat, pull it back, and when we need to put it on after, it'll all be nice and straight, and we can just use a little bit of spray glue. Just like that, and it is nice and neat and it's perfect, and nobody's ever going to know. Now to make your life just a little bit easier on removal of the glass, remove the motor from T25s and pull that off, and that little gear will just come straight off, just like so. Put the motor out of the way. Now we can move that glass up and down like so, so we can get to the attachment parts. Now let's get the glass off the runner, and what you need is a T20. You should be able to go through about there, and also by there on the plastic housing, and you need to undo these little gears at the back. Well, they look like a gear to me, and these were that tight, they've actually rounded off, but no drama. What I did, I've got my grips at the back of the gear, or I just call it a gear, probably someone else, and just wang it off. Simple. Now let's get the glass out of the window, out the door, tilt it to one side, and that glass will come up. And once you've got it out, put it somewhere safe. Now move round to getting the regulator out itself. There's a 10mm by there, one there, and 2 underneath the door there, and we can just get all this regulator out. And that's one regulator out. Now the reason why they snap, on the bottom corner here, as you can see, all the water gathers, and the actually, what do they call it? Oh, cable, that's it. Anyway, the cable, it corrodes, and over time, as you're pulling it up and down, it just snaps. And there you have it. With a little bit of magic, the brand new one has turned up, and we're fitting a WAI one. Before you take it out of that plastic bag, make sure that it is a correct one, because they will not accept the returns if it's wrong. Now before we put this new one in, there's a little bracket that we need to take off the old regulator, which is there, which fits on the corner, the bolts to the bottom of the door. We'll get that swapped over, and then we'll get that new regulator put in. And there we go. Now we've got the window regulator back in. Some of these can be absolutely horrendous to put back in, but how you do it, you just tilt it that way, slide it in, and then bring them back, and then they'll line up, and you've got tighten the 210s that side and the 210s that side. Now we can concentrate on the glass and what we're going to be doing before we put it back in. Get ourselves a little bit of elbow grease glass cleaner, and we're going to give it a clean before we put it back in. Now let's get this glass put back into the window, and what you need to do is put the front piece in first, slide it down, and then offer the back piece in, and then also pull your little chair around, or if you've got a chair or kneeling down or what have you, and then work it into the slots where they need to be tightened up. Now once you've got your glass in and you're happy with how it's fitting, you do need to tighten these little screws up at the back. Now there probably is a special tool for doing it, but I haven't got it. Just use a pair of grips and just be extra careful, because you will be sliding right next to the side of the glass and you probably will break it if you're not careful. Anyway, let's give the window a big try-a-rooney. Down, don't know if you can see it, I've cleaned it that well. And up as well. Perfect. Now remember, think back to the beginning of the video now where I'd cut this foam padding off. Get yourself some spray adhesive glue now and go around all the edge, which I've already done on that one. And you also want to just go around the edge of the doors like so. Then it will just stick back on nice and lovely. Just like that, absolutely perfect. Now what we've got to do is just put that door panel back on. And then once everything's put back together, give everything a little bit of a cleaner-rooney, and then we can give it a big try, see if everything's working as it should. Window going up, and it's fitting perfect on the top of the door there. Let's give it a big open. All the way down. Absolutely perfect. And there you go, that is one window regulator repair on a BMW 1 Series. Let's get it sent. I've got to tidy all this up now.